Now to tonight's special report, looking at the untapped potential of Australia's Great North. It's 3 years since the Developing the North White Paper was released, an action plan with the goal of turning the top 40% of the country into an economic powerhouse, a food bowl for Asia. The government wanted to fix roads and telecommunications and build more dams. Industries like tropical health, biosecurity and agriculture were the targets. But those who live in the North now fear it was more talk than action. Our reporter Christy O'Brien travelled to one farm 50 kilometres east of Elliott in the Northern Territory.
This is the Great North. Beef is the biggest agricultural money spinner in the top end. It generates $800 million every year. But there's room for a lot more. At Beetaloo Station, the Armstrongs are all about gearing up for future customers. They're doing it by using their 2.6 million acres of land more efficiently and have made one of the biggest water investments in the north.
Even though it's not rocket science, it's, what we've done is just put water on country. It hasn't been done most of our waters are 4 kilometres apart.
It's cost them $40 million to lay 3,000 kilometres of pipe and construct 600 water points. But it's meant they can increase their cattle numbers dramatically. Beetaloo is now regarded as one of the best stations in the north. Their infrastructure investment has seen their carrying capacity of cattle increase from 20,000 head to 80,000 in just under 8 years. The Armstrongs have made this investment to capture the one thing farmers can rely on in this part of Australia, and that's rain. The wet season comes without fail, and when it does, there is no shortage of water. But the other half of the year, the rivers turn to a trickle, and with a 90% evaporation rate, it means the water must be stored or it's useless.
We want it out the door. We want D8s and excavators out there digging holes, building dams, building water infrastructure that we need.
Building a dam big enough and deep enough to last the dry season doesn't come cheap. And just who'll pay for that sort of infrastructure is the one big hurdle stopping everything up here.
We put our hand out in a bipartisan way to all the states, no matter their political persuasion, to get on this journey with us. And this is the frustration. People just want action. And that's all we're saying is we put our hand in the pocket. We're prepared to pay.
If people are going to go in and spend X amount of millions of dollars, then they need the assurity that, the government's behind them. Otherwise you get a pretty uneasy feeling about it.
There are, of course, other barriers stopping progress, as one MP who knows the portfolio well will attest.
Vegetation management laws, tree clearing guidelines, water access plans, getting access to water licences, getting access to extraction licences. All these things are native title encumbrances that basically restrict even the Aboriginal people's right to develop their own land.
He says people are walking away from the north and it's bureaucracy that's to blame.
People will just give up. They'll just say, obviously the government has no interest in this but to support a myriad or a pot of bureaucrats who are becoming very wealthy by sending reports back and forth, the purpose of which is ultimately to make sure nothing happens.
But there is the seed of something promising up here. 3 years ago, genetically modified cotton was invented for northern conditions, and it's proving science can be one key to unlocking the north. It's tolerant to northern Australia's many bugs and tropical diseases, and is being used to successfully grow the crop up here for the first time. Now it is about economies of scale. It's a case of go big or go home.
That was very much part of the focus, is what can we do, how quickly can we do it, and what are our windows of opportunity and how best do we exploit them.
One of Australia's most successful grain growers, who wants to expand into the north, says the solution is to just stop talking and start doing.
We've had the white papers. Before any sod has been turned, the amount of work, it's the first time in the history of agricultural development in Australia. We've done so much research. They've just got to open the gate and let us have a go.
The scene is set. We've got the land, we've got the grass, the sunlight, the rainfall, and then we've got the markets. It's just a matter of piecing that all together and turning it into an economic sort of a machine that can work together.
Northern dreams in the pipeline, but the trickle down can be slow. Christy O'Brien, ABC News, Darwin.